Good afternoon or evening, depending on when you're watching this video. My name is Dr. Gerald Case-Blanchard, and I am the Director of Vocal Music at KCC and Music Area Coordinator. This concert series that we will be presenting for you today is in celebration of Black History Month. And because of COVID-19, obviously we cannot have live presentations. So we're looking back at some previous events and performances that we have given in celebration of Black History Month. And we're going to kick off the concert series, or this particular series, with the July 4th speech composed by Dorothy Rudd Moore, which is based on a speech given by Frederick Douglass. I hope you enjoy it. I performed this work. In fact, it was the California premiere that you're about to see now of this aria from the opera Frederick Douglass by Dorothy Rudd Moore. And this would have been the second or third time I would have performed that work, as I also sang it here in Michigan, and I've performed it in Pennsylvania, and then at this point it was in California. So it was a wonderful opportunity to share the music of Dorothy Rudd Moore, who is quite the prolific composer. She is an African-American female composer who has done everything from symphonic works to choral arrangements and works for the solo voice and opera, as you will hear now. Please enjoy July 4th speech, or also known as the 4th of July speech, from the opera Frederick Douglass by Dorothy Rudd Moore.
And allow me to ask, why am I called upon to speak here today? What have I or those I represent to do with your independence? Are the great principles of political freedom and justice embodied in the Declaration of Independence extended to us? Must I therefore humbly kneel before the national altar in gratitude? To drag a man in fetters into the grand temple of liberty and call on him to join in your joyous anthems when human mockery. Why am I called upon to speak here today? Do you is American slavery. But to the American slave is your 4th of July. I answer, a day that reveals to him the gross injustice and cruelty to which he is constant victim. Standing here, identified with the American bondman, I declare that the character and conduct of this nation never looked blacker to me than on this day. This 4th of July is yours, not mine. You married us. I must
Hi, and we are back for our next presentation, which will feature yet another African-American female composer by the name of Florence Price. Florence Price, or Florence Beatrice Price, was an African-American classical composer. She was a pianist. She was also an organist and a music teacher. Her works are quite vast. She was, in fact, one of the first, if not the first, African-American female to have any of her symphonic works played by a major American orchestra, which was the Chicago Symphony. So we are going to listen to one of her choral pieces entitled Praise the Lord. And this was recorded recently by the choirs at Kellogg Community College, the KCC Choral Union. Unfortunately, because of COVID, as I mentioned before, we cannot get together in person. So we had to go to digital route. So we are doing a virtual choral performance of this beautiful piece, and I hope you enjoy it. It was made out of love and with people all over the place, kind of put together in a little square box, and some incredible work by a colleague of mine who does these types of projects, Mitchell. So please enjoy Praise the Lord by Florence Price.
Praise the Lord, praise the Lord, praise the Lord, praise the Lord. All ye nations, praise the Lord, all ye nations, praise the Lord, praise the Lord, all ye nations, praise the Lord, praise the Lord, praise the Lord, all ye great toward us, for his kindness is great toward us. For his kindness is great toward us, great toward us. His kindness is great, great, his mercy toward kindness is great toward us. And the truth of the Lord, and the truth of the Lord, endureth forever, endureth forever. Praise the Lord, 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 all ye nations, praise the Lord, all ye nations, praise the Lord, all ye nations, praise the Lord. Praise the Lord, praise the Lord, praise the Lord, all ye nations, praise the Lord.
If you're just now joining us, I'm Carmen Bell. I'm an adjunct professor here at KCC. I teach a lot of music appreciation and voice lesson classes. I have a couple of announcements for you this evening, but I want to give Dr. Phillips another round of applause. First off, if you look at your program, Kewan Lambert will not be performing this evening, but we are extremely excited to have Dr. Carl Ratner. He is the head of the voice department over at Western Michigan University. Amazing singer. He's actually my mentor, my very first voice teacher that I had, and he's my #1 supporter. So I'm really excited to have him here this evening. Let's see what else I have on my notes. I'm really good at singing, but not talking. I want to give a special reminder to make sure if you have a cell phone with you or anything that rings or dings, to make sure you take a second to make sure they're turned off. I also want to give another thank you to L.E. Johnson from Urban League. Do you want to say that? He was really helpful with planning this tonight. We had a conversation over the summer, and then this is what has came from our conversation. So I'm really thankful to him and to the Urban League Collaborative for sponsoring our reception, and Dr. Phillips this evening. Next Sunday, February 9th, we're having a Raise Your Voice in Song, a community-wide hymns and spiritual sing-along, and that will be here in this building at 3 p.m., so next Sunday at 3. So if you think you might want to sing yourself, something to check out to come and join. And also here on campus, we also offer lessons where you can sign up just to sing or take piano or guitar, any instrument you're interested in, we will find it for you to play. So I hope you enjoy the performance tonight, and I'll introduce Dr. Blanchard. out now, please.
My first piece this evening is actually a spiritual call. He's got the whole world in his hands, and it's arranged by Moses Hoshi. Please enjoy.
He's got the whole world in his hands. 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 He's got all the power in his hands. He's got all the power in his hands. He's got all the power in his hands. He's got the whole world in his hands. He's got you and me, brother, in his hands. He's got you and me, sister, in his hands. He's got the little baby in his hands. He's got the whole world in his hands. He's got mother and father in his hands. He's got the stars and moonlight in his hands. He's got everybody in his hands. He's got the whole world in his hands.
Now, usually during a recital, I don't like to talk because it's so taxing to sing and then also speak, but I do want to mention there's a difference between spirituals, traditional spirituals, arranged spirituals, and this next piece, The Negro Speaks of Rivers, is not a spiritual at all. It is an African-American art song, which means it's a piece that is, it's a standalone piece. The text itself stands alone, and it has been set by a composer. So because the poetry is so significant for the next sequence of songs, which are all set by Langston Hughes in terms of its poems, I think it's very important that you hear the poetry separate from the singing. So we will have the poem read for you, The Negro Speaks of Rivers.
I've known rivers. I've known rivers ancient as the world and older than the flow of human blood in human veins. My soul has grown deep like the rivers. I bathed in the Euphrates when dawns were young. I built my hut near the Congo, and it lulled me to sleep. I looked upon the Nile and raised the pyramids above it. I've heard the singing of the Mississippi when Abe Lincoln went down to New Orleans, and I've seen its muddy bosom turn all golden in the sunset. I've known rivers, ancient, dusky rivers. My soul has grown deep like the rivers.
Unknown
6 songs on the poetry of Langston Hughes, we're doing 2 of the 6, The Dreamkeeper and As I Grew Older. And what's really important about these pieces, besides the poetry being extremely powerful, I think the musical setting paints the poetry perfectly. And this was composed by Dominic Dosha, and I had the pleasure of recording this piece because the song cycle was written for me specifically. So it is on my recording, if you want to go out and buy it, just so you know. But anyway, please enjoy The Dreamkeeper, and then following that, As I Grew Older.
Bring me all of your dreams, you dreamers. Bring me all of your heart melodies, that I may wrap them in a blue cloud cloth, away from the too rough fingers of the world.
Bring me all of your dreams, you dreamers. Bring me all of your heart melody, that I may wrap them in a blue cloud cloth, away from the too rough fingers of the world.
Very nice. Yes. As I grow older, it was a long time ago. I've almost forgotten my dream, but it was there then, in front of me, bright like a sun. My dream. And then the wall rose slowly between me and my dream, rose until it touched the sky. The wall, shadow. I am black. I lie down in the shadow. No longer the light of my dream before me. Above me, only a thick wall. Only the shadow. My hands, my dark hands, break through the wall. Find my dream. Help me shatter this darkness, to smash this night, to break this shadow into 1,000 lights of sun, into 1,000 whirling dreams of sun.
It was a long time ago. I have almost forgotten my dream. But it was there that dreams before me. Above me, only the thick wall. Only the shadow.
When I want a melody lately through the house, then I want a melody by Strauss. It laughs, it sings, the world is in rhyme, swinging to three-quarter time. Let the Danube flow along, and the flater bounce. Keep the wine and give me song by Strauss, by Joe, by G, by Strauss is the thing. So I say to ha-cha-cha, Harold, just give me the new papa by Strauss. When I want a melody lately through the house, then I want a melody by Strauss. It laughs, it sings, the world is in rhyme, singing with three-quarter time. Let the Danube
some excerpts from Porgy and Bess, and I'm going to sing It Ain't Necessarily So, but I need your help because there's a chorus in this number. And so I need you actually to just sing 4 nonsense words after I sing them. So when you hear me sing them, I'm going to tell you what they are. We'll practice it first. So the first one is wadu. Wadu. Very good. Zimbambootaloo. Zimbambootaloo. Hoodalada-wada. Hoodalada-wada. Scatty-wah. Scatty-wah. That's it. It happens twice, and I will sing those words, and you'll repeat them after me, and it'll be just like we had 80 people on stage in this number in Porgy and Bess. So I should also say, this character that sings this, his name is Sport and Light, and he's kind of a devil of a character. He's always trying to get people to leave the straight and narrow and do all the things they're not supposed to do. So right now he's pretending that he's giving some kind of a sermon, but it's really kind of the
It ain't necessarily so. It ain't necessarily so. The things that you're liable to read in the Bible, it ain't necessarily so. Little David was small, but oh my. Little David was small, but oh my. He fought big Goliath, who lay down and died. Little David was small, but oh my. Wadu, Zimbaboo, Hula-wada, Scatty-wah, yeah. Oh, Jonah, he lived in the whale. Oh, Jonah, he lived in the whale. Yes, he made his home in that fish's abdomen. Oh, Jonah, he lived in the whale. Little Moses was found in a stream. Little Moses was found in a stream. He floated on water till old Pharaoh's daughter, she fished him, she says, from that stream. Wadu, Zimbaboo, Hula-wada, Scatty-wah. Necessarily so. It ain't necessarily so. They tell all you chillin' the devil's a villain, but 'tain't necessarily so. To get into heaven, don't snap for a 7. Live clean, don't have no faults. Look at me. I take the gospel whenever it's possible, but with a grain of salt. Methuselah lived 900 years. Methuselah lived 900 years. But who calls that living when no gal'll give in to no man what's 500 years? I'm preaching this sermon to show it ain't necessarily so.
and bass, and I am a cripple, and the young lady who just sang is one that I have fallen deeply in love with, Bess. And at the end of this, there will be a love duet, so keep an eye out for that. But here I'm singing about being happy and content because I finally found my love.
Oh, I got plenty of nothing, and nothing's plenty for me. I got my car, I got no mule, I got no misery. The folks with plenty of plenty got a lock on their door. Afraid somebody's a-going to rob nobody's out there making more. What for? I got no lock on the door, that's no way to cheat. They can still rob from the floor. That's okay with me, cause the things that I prize and the stars in the skies are all free. Oh, I got plenty of nothing, and nothing's plenty for me. I got my gal, got my song, got Kevin the whole day long. No use complaining, got my gal, got my Lord, got my song.
sing and dance for two instead of one. Want no wrinkle on your brow, no how, because the sorrow of the past is all undone. My best, the real happiness is just begun. this evening and celebrating the very first event the college is putting on in celebration of African American History Month. And I'm so happy that we are doing it, kicking off with music. But there's so many wonderful events that are coming down the pike: a soul food luncheon, lectures, there's dancing, cooking demonstrations, all kinds of events. But, as mentioned earlier, next Sunday, right here in this very same space at 3 p.m. is a community-wide hymn and spirituals sing-along. You don't have to know how to sing. You can pick up a hymnal, and we're just going to have fun singing our favorite hymns. It's not a concert in a sense where somebody's up there conducting. I'll be leading you, and we'll have two fine pianists performing for you. But please try to come back for that event. It is going to be a spectacular event, and this is the 6th year that we've done it, and each year it gets better and better, and more people come out. So thank you all for coming.